This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Oakland Athletics.
Rooker, it's a 5 on a deep center. Robert going back at the track. He will turn and watch it fly.
And 29 other MLB clubs.
Dolis Garcia sends one the other way. That sends Carroll back. He's at the Ronald Acuna, another milestone in a truly historic season. Julio with an absolute nuke out to left field.
It's Glaber Day. And like a good Glaber, Torres is there.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe. From humidors to Stuff Plus to walk-off dingers, we have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of A's Cast Live. Is this the final Cactus League version of A's Cast Live? This is it.
Yeah, because Monday's the Bay Bridge Series starting in Oakland.
You know, it's hit that point now that the tournament's here. You know, I love watching games every day as we get ready for the show. I always have MLB Network on, but now that the tournament's on, like, as much as I want to watch Kansas City play Milwaukee in the Battle of Surprise, Arizona, I'm pretty much I'm kind of done watching spring training games, and I'm ready to get this thing rolling. Because once you get back to the big ballpark, and you're playing at the Coliseum or you're playing at Oracle Park, it's let's get it on. Like, you want to know who the roster is. We have not a good note about a certain A's pitcher. Hate to lead off with any type of negativity today because there is a lot going on. Obviously, there is a massive, massive story in Major League Baseball. Like, if there was anything that you could think that could knock the tournament, the NCAA tournament, not like the Sweet 16, not the Final Four. The first weekend is the most watched. Like, everybody's in, right? It's the excitement. Everybody's got brackets. It's tournament. Hard to believe a baseball story at the end of spring training could knock the NCAA tournament off the headlines.
Clearly, you're talking about Jackson Holliday being sent to minor league camp for the Orioles,
Jackson Holliday, what? The guy had over 300 at a 900 OPS, and he's not going to make the Orioles roster? No, it's not Jackson Holliday, but still, that is really? He's not going to make your roster?
Maybe he, like Paul Skeens, maybe he has some boxes to check still.
You can't find, there's 13 position players. You can't find a spot for him in your 13. I know you won 101 games last year. I know you won the East. Jackson Holliday, is that not sniffing? Is that really not sniffing? We don't want to start this kid's clock.
And before we get to the A's news, where we get to go to Texas, our friend Evan Grant from the Dallas Morning News just tweeted, Wyatt Langford, according to Bruce Bochy, will be on the opening day roster. He was just in college last year at Florida. He's in Major League Baseball. Paul Skeens, the number one pick in the draft, not in Major League Baseball. He pitched at LSU, dominated LSU, and Jackson Holliday, not going to be on the Orioles opening day roster.
It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. It goes back to, and I hate to harp on it day after day after day, but it's mind-blowing how archaic our sport is in so many different ways. I mean, oh my God. You're going to draft a kid who's incredibly talented, can play at the big league level, and you're not going to start his clock because you're worried about free agency. I mean, it's just, come on, man.
He'll be up in like May or June when it's past the Super 2 or whatever that thing is.
It's just so garbage. It's like you're not putting your best foot forward. We're not going to play somebody. Like, we can't even fathom this in another sport. We just drafted Michael Jordan out of North Carolina. We don't want to start his clock, so we're going to put him in the G League or whatever the hell it's called.
G League.
We just drafted Michael Jordan. We're going to put him with the Santa Cruz Warriors.
The C-Dubs.
We just drafted Peyton Manning. We're not going to play him. I mean, Peyton Manning was one of the most prepared, ready quarterbacks ever to go out of college and start in the NFL. Nope, he's going to play in Santa Cruz. No, we're going to put him in AAA. We're going to put Peyton Manning pick a AAA with the El Paso Chihuahuas because he hasn't checked all the boxes yet. We're not going to play Peyton Manning. I mean, it sounds so ridiculous. That's what we do in baseball.
Mike Elias, who learned from Jeffrey Luno in Houston, kind of following the same playbook a little bit with what they're doing. What player did the Astros keep down and called up at a certain time? That'd be George Springer, who they got to keep for next year.
And he was pissed forever.
Him and Chris Brown were the two guys. I know Brown was a Cub, but those were the two guys that started this whole thing.
All right, so big news. We will get into it. I got hair on my hat. All right. Quickly, the Trevor Gott before we get into Shohei Ohtani.
Martin Gallegos, MLB.com, tweeted this a little bit ago. Trevor Gott has a fully torn UCL in his right elbow and will undergo Tommy John surgery next week. He was expected to be a part of the A's bullpen this season. So Trevor Gott out for the year, and that means that opens up a spot for someone to take over in the A's bullpen.
13 pitchers. We know the right-handers. Question is, what are you going to do with the guys? First, you got Mitch Spence, who is a Rule 5 guy, who obviously you like. I like. Just not from a standpoint physical. I like his mentality. Kyle Muller's still a guy who has a lot of upside. Big left-hander, was your opening day starter. Had a rough year last year, but has been a lot better. Do you want to lose him? Probably not. So, do you start the season with these two guys in the bullpen? We'll see. You got 8 spots in your bullpen.
Yeah,
you know, Mason Miller's going to be there. Danny Jimenez is going to be there. Zach Jackson's going to be there. Lucas Ursic's going to be there. So those 4 right there. Then you got the couple lefties, and Alexander's got the rib problem, so he's probably going to start on the IL.
You got Sean Newcomb, so
that's 5. So you got 3 spots.
And you got Michael Kelly and Tyler Ferguson, potentially the last 2 guys fighting for the last spot in the bullpen if Spence and Muller both make it. So we'll find out, Tuesday or Wednesday?
And this is where Medina being hurt with the knee on the IL helps out as much as it's horrible for him. And you don't want to see guys with injuries, but that's where it kind of like for him, he's out of options. Would you have 3 guys you don't want to lose as starters in your bullpen?
It was trending that way with him, Muller, and Spence.
Yeah, it's some tough calls, but it would have maybe been a little easier now with Gott out.
Yeah, for sure.
Gott didn't have a good spring, but obviously he was dealing with some elbow stuff.
Yeah, so fully torn UCL, going to be out. I'm going to have Tommy John surgery next week. So we'll find out who's going to be on the full roster probably after the Bay Bridge game in San Francisco on Tuesday. So Tuesday or Wednesday, and we're ready to go next week, less than a week from yesterday. So 6 days till opening day against Cleveland and Voter and the Guardians.
All right. There's a massive story right now in Major League Baseball. But I want to start today with the reality is life happens. We sit here and we project, we guess, we tell you what we think's going to happen. We sit here and we just praise teams that spend money and do all this kind of stuff, and you win the winner. And we think just because you do X, Y, and Z, you've already conquered everything. And then all of a sudden, life happens. It happens with all of us. It happens with teams. It's just a reality. And you look at the Dodgers right now, and flying back from Korea, they got absolute chaos going on. It's Yamamoto being able to get out of the first, not being able to get out of the first inning doesn't even matter anymore. Max Muncy, already a butcher at third base, doesn't even matter. They've got absolute chaos because life happens. So we can pick and we can project and we can, but look at the NCAA tournament. You can be a team that is physically better than the other team. But this isn't the NBA where we're playing in a 7-game series. This is one game. And this one game you play, Your shots don't go in, their shots do. Life happens, and you're bounced. There's no guarantees. You have no idea how things are going to play out. You have no idea. Life happens. And that's where we're at right now. When the Dodgers signed Shohei Ohtani, this looked like, oh my God, they're going to make a ton of money off him, which they still will. But this looked like this was just a marriage made in heaven. This was perfect. He's deferring all this money. He's not going to get paid till years from now. He's only making $2 million a season, gives you payroll flexibility. This is just awesome. He's had the bracket surgery. And I actually had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and I was talking to this doctor about it. He's like, oh, my God, look what it did for Brock Purdy. Look how fast Brock Purdy came back. He basically needed Tommy John surgery, had the bracket, boom. Guys are having this bracket surgery. You don't have the regular Tommy John like you used to. Cuts the time you're out. There's been reports Ohtani could play outfield this year. But life happens. Like, I'll never forget one of the greatest examples of this all time. Remember years ago when Colorado and Nebraska used to play? Yeah, how about that? Remember when Colorado and Nebraska used to play the day after Thanksgiving on the Friday after Thanksgiving?
Yes, that's when we still call Nebraska the Black Shirts, right?
Yeah, but when they were in the same conference, when Nebraska wasn't in the Big Ten.
When they're Big 12.
When life was normal. Old Big 8 foes.
Pac-12 Colorado, you mean?
Yes, Colorado wasn't in the Pac-12 and Nebraska wasn't in the Big Ten. Life was at a simpler time then. But they used to play, and I remember watching that game day after Thanksgiving. They would play, and all of a sudden Tim Brando came on, the great Tim Brando, CBS Sports. Dun, dun, bum, bum, breaking news. And you're sitting there day after Thanksgiving. You're watching college football. What could be breaking news? Tiger Woods has been rushed to the hospital. Now, when this was happening, Tiger Woods is the biggest sports person, athlete, personality on the planet. This is Tiger Woods at the height of his powers. Tiger Woods was the biggest sports guy, right? Was there anybody bigger than Tiger Woods?
No.
I mean, he was really the biggest guy since Jordan.
Yes.
He's Tiger Woods.
Still a big deal now. Not as big, but still big.
This guy's on a path to break Jack Nicklaus's major records. He's on the fast track to be a billionaire. Tiger Woods has everything you want in life. And it's dun, 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 dun. Tiger Woods been rushed to the hospital. It's like, Tiger Woods been rushed to the hospital. What? Well, then we find out he was trying to escape the wife who was chasing him down with a golf club. He runs over a fire hydrant. She's beating the back of the car window. You're like, wait a minute. This guy had everything. He's got the beautiful wife. He's got 2 young kids. He's rich. He's winning all the golf tournaments. He's got endorsements just flying his way. How could he screw that up? Life happens. Little did we know. He supposedly had a sex addiction. Little did we know he's got pain pill problems. This guy had everything a human being would want. Everything. And life happens. And that's where we are with the Dodgers. Life happens. And the facts of the matter are this. Whichever story you want to believe, I've actually been, a couple of my golf buddies are lawyers, so I've been throwing questions at them all morning long. And there may be nothing to see here. But the facts are, you cannot gamble through a bookie in the state of California. Now, do I want legalized gambling in California? Would I like to be on the MGM app like my buddies in Nevada are and they can just bet? Or when I'm in Nevada, you sign up, you can have the MGM app and you can be in the casino or not in the casino betting games when you're in Nevada. And the way it's geo-fenced, the minute you cross into California, it doesn't work anymore. But the rules are the rules. I don't set the rules. You cannot bet through a bookie. And the fact is, a bookie in California who's being investigated His house has been raided. You can read all this stuff about it. The FBI, and he was paid off, and the money came from Shohei Ohtani. Those are the facts. Now, whether Ohtani knew about it, well, 1 minute he knows about it, the next minute he doesn't know about it. Then all of a sudden, the interpreter, who we've seen, when the Angels came to town, and now all the different accounts. Oh, he was close with his parents. I mean, there's all kinds of stories flying around of how it could happen. He originally said Ohtani knew about it. Supposedly the checks that ESPN has seen, they say loan on it. Money was transferred to the bookie. Now, that's the original story. The interpreter told ESPN. Why he was allowed to speak to ESPN is beyond me.
For 90 minutes.
Crazy. And then, lawyers after that are going, what are you doing? Are you stupid? And then now he's Shohei and knew nothing about it.
Yeah, they disavowed it.
Now it's a crime. Well, what is the Rule 21?
Yes.
Rule 21 in baseball, that we, not only Shohei Ohtani and his greatness, but two slaps like us who work for a Major League Baseball team, we cannot bet.
I have the official Rule 21.
Read the rule.
Rule 21, which states any player, umpire, or club or league official or employee who places bets with an illegal bookmaker or agents for illegal bookmakers shall be subject to such penalty as the commissioner deems appropriate in light of the facts and circumstances of the conduct.
So the fact is, money from Shohei Ohtani's account was sent to the bookie. That's the facts, right? Purely, it's simple. Money from his account to the bookie. Can't do it. Now you know why the story changes, right? The story's got to change. Because what I think doesn't matter, right? What anybody thinks doesn't matter. But do I think Ohtani was gambling on sports? No. But could have been. I don't know. We don't know yet. There needs to be a full investigation. Once again, the facts, we do know the facts. And the fact is, money went from his account to a bookie. That's something we do know. Now, whether he knew about it, now it's he didn't know about it. Okay. At first, he knew about it, and he was taking care of his interpreter, his buddy. He first said Ohtani wouldn't give me the money because he didn't want me to go gamble it because I have a gambling problem. So Ohtani just sent it to the bookie to take care of his buddy. But you can't pay off a bookie even if you're the guy not betting. No matter who made the bets, if you're the one that paid it, you can't pay a bookie, right?
Correct, yes.
You could say whoever made the bets, the money came from your account. That's where I would guess the story with the lawyers goes, we need to flip the script here because you can't do that. You can't be paying bookies. And as Rule 21 said, Rule 21 doesn't say, you can pay the bookie if you didn't make the bets. Read that rule again. Does it say you can pay a bookie, but as long as you didn't make the bets?
Any player, umpire, or club or league official or employee who places bets with an illegal bookmakers or agents for illegal bookmakers shall be subject to such penalty as the commissioner deems appropriate in light of the facts and circumstances of the conduct. This is in the Athletic article Ken Rosenthal put out today.
Now, what matters most? Placing the bet or paying off the bet?
I would say they're both equally because you still put the bet down, then you have to pay it off.
Well,
which is still illegal in California.
You don't have to pay the bookie.
True, yeah.
And then the bookie can't turn you into the authorities because what he's doing is illegal.
Yeah.
Like someone can give you the drugs, but if you don't pay for them and you skate, they're not going to call 911.
True, also true.
I mean, the crime is the payoff. The crime is not the bet. You could be an illegal bookie, and I could say, I bet you this, but if I never pay you, what's the crime?
Yeah, true. It just looks really bad because California is one of the 10 states that does not have legalized sports gambling.
Correct. But it's the payment. It's the money
Yeah.
transferred.
Yeah.
That's the big deal. And what does baseball do? Because if baseball just says nothing to see here, are you basically setting a precedent of just make sure you always have a fall guy? Even if Ohtani never knew, let's say Ohtani did know this truly is a crime or whatever, but if money's going from your account, somebody had to have access to the account.
Correct, yes.
And it wasn't this guy. It wasn't the interpreter. So whether it's the parents or what. So once again, you're finding every way not to link Ohtani to it, but it's his account. So the question is, are you just basically telling everybody, hey, make sure you have the fall guy? Is the fall guy the interpreter? Is the fall guy, in Ohtani's case now, if he never made the bets, but now you're saying because they know him just saying, dude, I got you. I'm wiring the money. Can't do that. So now the fall guy becomes the parents. The parents gave the interpreter, however the spin job is going to work out in the wash here. We're going from doing your buddy a solid to I didn't know it's now a crime. So how does Major League Baseball say the guy did 90 minutes with ESPN?
Yeah, 90 minutes.
Spilled all the beans, and then the next minute, he's now completely changing his story.
Yeah, next day, lawyers disavow.
And really the story, all they're trying to get Ohtani away from is being, I'm helping my buddy out and I'm paying the debt. That's what they're trying to get away from. So what does baseball do?
According to this piece that Ken Rosenthal put out earlier, it says that at this point, the league is merely looking into the matter and gathering information, a spokesperson said. So, because this is obviously a federal investigation with the illegal bookmaker. So, I'm sure we'll find more out over the weekend.
This is their problem. This is baseball's problem now. Because baseball is about to start its season and wants to go opening day. The bunting's out. Everything's great, which, yes, it is. But then they've got their biggest star, who's their first true international superstar. This guy is an international superstar.
He made $65 million off endorsements last year.
He is your golden child right now. He's helping grow your game internationally.
I believe the word Rosenthal used in his piece was, I think he used golden child and cash magnet. Is what he said.
Yeah, you want this to go away, but it's not going to go away. And then now it's the Barry Bonds treatment. How about that? We're going to put PR people in front of the locker to keep the media away. That's the Barry Bonds.
Yeah, he didn't speak to anyone.
This is going full-blown Balco, San Francisco Giants PR 101. Back when it was, none of them are there anymore. But it was, as a PR person, when you're having to do that, that shouldn't be your job. I'm shielding the player like security. That's not a PR person's job.
Plus, it's already unfortunate for the PR staff because Ohtani already doesn't really speak to the media, Japanese media or American media. He doesn't.
And how's that going to work?
Yeah.
Because then that leaves all kinds of the rumors and all that. If you don't talk, it's one thing you don't want to talk about your hitting or your pitching or your dog's name, or all of a sudden now you're married. He married a woman who plays basketball, right?
Correct, yeah.
Like, you don't want to talk about your private life and stuff like that. This is a different ballgame, man. And you're not in Anaheim anymore. This isn't Anaheim. We're not riding Thunder Mountain and Space Mountain anymore, baby. You're now for the Dodgers and the LA Times. LA Times has to do its job.
They're the first ones that broke the story, and then ESPN.
The Orange County Register, which would be like, we don't want to upset him. No, the LA Times, I'm not saying they're like some crazy watchdog, but the LA Times still does actual journalism. And now we listened to Dan Patrick had a
Gustavo was his name.
writer on who's investigating this for the LA Times, and they're going to be up in this business. What's going on? Flying back from Korea, and they're going to land, and here we go. Where does it go from here? I mean, Jeff Fletcher from the Orange County Registry they've talked to Angel players, and Angel players say he doesn't even follow other sports, so there's no way he could be gambling. Okay. I'd buy that.
But they already said that his interpreter placed bets on international soccer, football, basketball. So,
I mean, $4.5 million. It's not like he's down $200,000.
It's a lot of money.
That's an
extreme
amount of money gambling. Extreme. It's just like this is so everybody wants to everybody. It's like we're just at the start of the story, and you can tell everybody just wants it to go away. What? This can't be true. That's $4.5 million in sports gambling. Do you realize how much money that is? How many bets that is? And what bookie at what point is the bookie saying to himself, this guy's racking up he's racking up into the millions?
How much is he doubling down on his stuff?
I mean, as a bookie, what do you like? Do I think this guy? I mean, because what's your recourse as a bookie in 2024? You're going to go your strong arm, Shohei Ohtani's. I mean, Shohei Ohtani's got probably security. There'd be a way to protect this guy, I would think.
Yeah.
I mean, at what point is the bookie sitting there going, I'm taking on a lot. This guy's really racking it up. And he could be saying, oh, I got him. Suck him in more. But at what point you're like, how's he going to pay this? Does he really think that? I mean, would you be saying to yourself, I'm just thinking if I was a bookie, which I wouldn't be a very good bookie, but I'm just thinking if I was a bookie, like, do I really think Shohei Ohtani's going to pay this off for him? Because he kept saying Ohtani's got my back.
Yes.
So the bookie is allowing this guy to run up the debt because the guy's saying Ohtani's got his back. That's a lot of belief system there.
Yeah, absolutely.
To keep him, $4.5 million.
Clearly he didn't win a lot.
But I'm not buying every bet was crazy. I'm not buying every bet was, I'm betting $300,000 on this NBA Warriors Wizards game. Right? This sounds like this has been going on. I mean, he's making a lot of bets to get to $4.5 million. And like he said, he's betting all these different. So if he's betting all these different sports, that means he's making a lot of bets. So it's not like he bet $500,000 on the Super Bowl and lost. He's making a considerable amount of bets.
Yeah, it makes me think of that scene from. Have you ever seen the movie Horrible Bosses with Jason Bateman and where he's racing and they get him on camera drag racing in the Prius, and he goes, "You were drag racing in a Prius." I don't win a lot. Makes me think of what's going on. The gambling keeps happening, and he just doesn't win.
Yeah, it all obviously doesn't all add up. You've got in a 24-hour span, you got a guy completely flip-flopping on his story. It's just, you got 4.5 million. No matter what, the facts are this, folks. The facts do not change. Money went from Shohei Ohtani's account to an illegal bookie in California.
Yes.
Now it's just, what did Ohtani know?
Yes. And
was this really a crime?
We'll find more out. More stuff's going to come out over the weekend and next week. And
it's really hard to believe that the parents were duped into $4.5 million, or however you're trying to spend it. Somebody was duped into paying off $4.5 million. Once again, $200,000, I'm buying it. $150,000, $50,000, $4.5 million.
Hell, I get a notification my second bank account falls below $25. So 4.5 million, you're not getting notified?
I was doing a CD, right? Putting some money in a CD.
What is that, certificate of deposit?
For which at 4.5%. I didn't finish it because I started doing something. I was just doing it online. They hammer me every day. Hey, it's still open, and you're still. I mean, it's every day. It's every day. You do anything, they hammer you every day.
Yes.
I had a doctor's appointment, right? They texted me 3 times. Your appointment's at 4:20. It was yesterday. I got text 3 times. There's nothing in your life now that you don't need to. Fantasy sports, I'll put it this way. I couldn't get into my account. I had to redo. I mean, just to anything that you do in life, they're going to send you a code. And what do you do in life where you're not going to have to verify who you are? They're going to send your phone a code. You got to put the code in. Where in life is this? And you're telling me 4.5 million just went whoop from one account to 2 different payments or whatever it was. And according to ESPN, said loan on it. Well, because that's what the bookie told him to put on it.
Yeah, that's what I've read too and heard. So.
It's like at some point common sense has to come in, right? As we mentioned, everything that we do is tracked. And everything that we do, you've got to verify again and again and again and again and again. I mean, you just don't. And do you think, here's the other thing. Do you think banks like that kind of money leaving their hands?
No, it's not like he sent a Venmo. Did he send it through
Venmo? Do you think, go right now and try and take money out of the bank? See, do you think it's that simple?
No.
Go walk into Wells Fargo, US Bank. Yes, I want to take out 1 point something million.
Yeah, good luck.
They're making it seem like it's a simple transaction. I just went to US. I don't know what his bank is. His bank may be a Japanese bank. I got to think they have regulations and they have rules and banking rules internationally. I just think a simple, I'm going to go to bank and transfer $2 million. Bang. No problem.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here. Oh, I'm just going to do it by my phone.
That's Venmo.
I mean, it's like, seriously, bro. Are we buying this?
I need to see all the facts. I need
totally.
More.
I just he didn't know about it. Just 4.5 million, boop, right out of the account. No one got notified. I mean, I should do a transaction right now. I guarantee you, I could transfer money from my checking to my savings, and they'll send me an email about it.
Yes, I told you I get notifications about my bank account falling. This is my other bank account falling below $25 because I don't keep money in there.
Sarah Langs is rich. She'll know from MLB.com. The great Sarah Langs. Sarah, when you're transferring millions of dollars around internationally, you get notified, correct?
I have never done such a thing, but hi, thank you for having me.
So you have to be fired up because nobody in this world loves baseball more than you, and it's about to get started. How's Sarah Langs feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm still in recovery. After the last 2 days, I was doing stats for the games on ESPN. So I was sitting right here where I am talking to you. At 4 a.m, it was pitch black outside. I watched the sunrise and I watched some baseball 2 days in a row. And then I kind of went back to sleep, woke up yesterday, watched some basketball. So I'm getting back into a regular rhythm. But I'm very excited for games that are played in the U.S. in this time zone. But man, those games are really, really cool to see.
So that was what, 6 a.m. for you guys?
Yeah, but I mean, when I'm working the game, I got to be online 2 hours before, getting ready, just if you have any questions, what does our producer need? So that was a nice 3:30 a.m. alarm.
I know that was a thing. Here for us, it started at 3 a.m. and I'm like, I'm like, if I stay up, I was thinking about it both days, right? Because I was like, God, I'd love to watch it. I taped it, but then I taped both games, but I'm like, do I want to stay up? But if I stay up, if I stay up and don't go to bed till and those games were over 3 hours, that means I'm up all night long. And you know what? Pulling all-nighters, it's just not worth it. So out of those 2 games, they split the series. Obviously, the Dodgers, game 1, a comeback. Ball goes through Cronenworth's webbing, was a weird play. Game 2, Yamamoto. I mean, first of all, did he look – I mean, obviously the highlights look horrible. Did he look that bad?
I don't know if he looked bad or if his kind of game plan was just a little bit easy to guess. Not sign stealing, nothing like that. But he's known to kind of set up with one pitch, then go for a splitter. Kind of felt like they were sitting on certain pitches. I'm not all that worried. I feel like it was an odd situation. You've traveled all this way. Here's the opening start. I'm glad Dave Roberts just took him out. I think for confidence and everything, you just kind of reset. Whenever he pitches again, next weekend, that's kind of day 1 for him. But I do think my takeaway overall, and not on Yamamoto, but just generally, was that the Dodgers, obviously in this incredible top 3, having Ohtani and Betts and Freeman, but there are a lot of holes with this team. We saw yesterday Max Muncy had a couple of, he had actual errors and some other just misplays at their base. He was among the worst and outs above average at 3rd last year. You start to see that, Mookie Betts playing shortstop is amazing. The fact he can do that is incredible. But this tells you what their defense is in, especially on that left side with inexperience and just with issues overall. So, there's a lot to be excited about. But despite having that amazing top 3, there definitely is some concerns that we saw on display.
I asked the commander, we didn't even talk about this. He had to take me to dinner last night to pay off a bet. I bet him last year he was riding the Mariners. I mean, you would think he was Mariners moose the way he was loving the Mariners. So I bet him, I'm like, Mariners won't even make the playoffs. And they didn't. So he had to pay off his bet last night. We went to Ola, is what it was called.
Yeah, I thought it was Oya Cocina.
So we did a Mexican restaurant last night, and I asked him this. I don't know the answer because, we've been playing baseball for over 150 years, but has anyone ever gone from the outfield to the infield at this age that Mookie Betts is doing it? Because we've seen Robin Yount go from shortstop to center field at this age. But have we ever seen a guy go from the outfield to the infield at this age?
So there isn't even any player to play the outfield for more than 1,000 games and then play 162 plus at shortstop at any point in their careers. This is not a combination we've seen. If you do with second base instead, again, there are a couple guys, but nobody who did it consistently and at this age the way Mookie is doing. You can also do it by Gold Gloves. Nobody's won multiple Gold Gloves and then played. Even the 16 games that he's played are now 18 in his career at shortstop. So, I'm sure there's some instances of guys maybe at first base, but not to the defensive priority positions in the infield where he will be playing. And it was amazing when he was going to be a second baseman. And now you have him at short, kind of that captain of the infield, captain of the defense position. It's really, really incredible that he's able to do it. And I have no doubt in him. My concern is the players around him in that infield.
Yeah, 31 years old. I'm going to give my grandfather a little love. I don't know if you know who my grandfather is. My grandfather's Bob Elliott. He was the first third baseman ever to be the MVP in Major League Baseball in 1947.
Wow.
My grandfather made the transition from outfield as a Pirate, Cody, into the infield at 26 and became a third baseman in 1943, and then later, like I said, win the MVP in 47. So there are guys, and my grandfather was one, that went from the outfield to the infield, but not at 31 years old. I mean, this is it is absolutely unprecedented. What do you make of all the Scott Boras clients as JD Martinez in your neck of the woods, the Mets? He has now signed a lot of deferred money in this 1-year deal. Still, Montgomery is out there. What do you make of all the Boras clients taking it in the shorts?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know how much has to do with who the agent is or any of that, but I think that, he has some really, really high power, impressive clients. And I would say that these are all really good players, but this is not the same as him being in free agency with someone like Juan Soto. Blake Snell is a really good pitcher. He's only one of only 7 guys to win 2 Cy Young. But even with that, we knew there were kind of industry concerns about him or what have you. So to me, it's more just that these weren't necessarily guys who front offices were going to be giving, those 7-year deals to. And I don't know if that's anyone's fault. And I love seeing players in the position when they want to prove themselves. I know they would rather have those long-term deals, but I'm excited to see your old friend Matt Chapman prove himself yet again in San Francisco. I'm excited to see Snell go out there and show how good he is and can be. I'm excited for JD Martinez, for all of them to do that. So obviously not the outcome or timing they would have wanted when these are really good players, and now they get to remind everyone of that fact.
Well, your mom's got to be happy.
She is. I mean, we went down to spring training about almost a month ago now, right at the beginning of games. And, she's warming up. She's kind of a negative fan. That's just how her fandom goes. But very excited for Jung-Hoo Lee. We got to see his debut. And now, I mean, Chapman obviously great after we had left. And now, I mean, they 1 and 2 from the NL side of voting last year. I think they're in a really good spot. It's a very interesting division beyond the Dodgers, who have the non-national talent. I mean, they have Corbin Carroll. They're in such great spots. They're the reigning pennant winners. You have the Padres, who's starting pitching, looks really, really good with Dylan Cease. But maybe the Giants are able to really compete in that as well.
All righty, so we start looking at predictions. Who are the teams that you really like going into 2024?
I mean, I really, really like the Braves. I feel like with everything the Dodgers did this offseason, we didn't talk enough about how good the Braves are. We know that they're hungry. I know they won a World Series, 3 years ago. But I think they feel they should have won one either of the last 2 years. We know Spencer Strider is so good and so motivated. We know how great Acuna is, and they're a really good team top to bottom. Really don't have many concerns with them. I think I'm picking them to win the World Series. I don't know if I made an official pick yet, but I will be picking them. Until 2 weeks ago, I was all in on the Yankees, but unfortunately, with Garrett Cole getting injured, their pitching is looking a little different now. So the American League is a little bit different to me. But I love the Rangers. I love Boch. I love that Wyatt Langford made the roster. That came out, 15 minutes ago. Very excited to see them this year.
All right. I know you're not a Yankee fan. I know you're not. But what is it about when you live in New York, you get sucked in? It's like they force you people to get sucked into the Yankees every single year. It's like you got sucked in again.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that because before Cole was hurt, this is a team with Aaron Judge and Monsoda and the reigning unanimous Cy Young Award winner. They dealt with so many injuries last year. They should have been a lot better if not for those. But a healthy Judge and a healthy Monsoda in a contract year, I mean, I think Soto is probably going to win MVP. He's going to be so good for them. So highly motivated.
Just remember, Sarah, when the game gets played on the field, slow and bad defense is not good. We can love guys who walk, and we can love guys who hit the ball out of the ballpark. But when you start playing the game, there's 162 of them, and you're not super athletic, and you don't move great, and you got that young Orioles team that's all they do. That's why I think people get sucked into the Yankees every single year, because you start looking at home runs and walks. And Soto, for a guy who walks, doesn't score as much as you'd like him to, and he's not good defensively. That's why Verdugo defensively, I mean, they're not great defensively. And then now you throw in the Cole deal, man, it's going to be, do we know, have they been reporting anything in your neck of the woods of when they might think that Cole could be back?
The first report I saw was something about 10 to 12 weeks, maybe, to resume. So something, I guess, was that, like, I mean, this happened a couple of weeks ago, but sometime maybe end of May. Not 100% sure on that and what the timeline is. But no, to your point, I mean, I have the Orioles winning the division, as they should. They're a really young, exciting team, as you said. I wish they had a bit more pitching. Obviously, they had pitching injuries early in camp. Kyle Bradish, who was so good for them, going down early. John Means is still figuring it out. So we'll see with them. But I love Corbin Burns on that team. And I mean, I love Adley. He's an easy MVP pick as well.
All right, so you like Atlanta. This is not an official pick. You don't have to officially pick now. But let's just say you're looking at Atlanta, and they face who in the World Series?
Maybe I'll go with the Orioles. Why not? I love it.
And you know what's crazy, Sarah? Like when years ago when the Yankees were going to all those World Series, back-to-back didn't seem like that big of a deal. But, man, we haven't had a back-to-back since the Yankees. And the National League, you got to go back to the big red machine. I think it's great for baseball. It's parity, but it's kind of crazy in our sport. We just never have back-to-back champs.
I mean, it's so hard. You play until what? The World Series end on November 1st, November 2nd, and then you're already behind on your off-season, on your rest, on everything else. I mean, the Rangers have had Corey Seager injured throughout spring training. They're dealing with that. Now, obviously, they won last year, and he only played about 20 games or so, so they don't need him every single day. But it just shows you how much goes into winning the World Series and how much it sets back your recovery. And I think that's a big part of it, but it's also that our postseason is so unpredictable, and that's why it's so great. But I mean, the Rangers probably should have won their division last year, but they didn't. We had 2 wildcard teams in the World Series, so you just never know. No matter how good a team is. I mean, look at the Dodgers from 2017 to 21. How many World Series did they have won? And they won one.
Yeah, it is just, it's hard to win. I mean, the way people talk in sports and fans and people choke, and that it's hard to win. It is so hard to win. I got a buddy who's a big Mets fan like you. He's from New York, and he's like, texting me all the time. Watch out. Mets are going to be a lot better. He thinks the Mets are going to be a lot better. I'm telling you this right now. The A's are going to be better than people think. Everybody has been, and I get it. I get the whole thing that everybody's talking about what's going on with the ballpark and relocation and everything, but just on the field, I'm telling you, spread the word. The A's are going to be better than you think.
I like it. I remember, I don't have the number in front of me, but Buster only asked me for win predictions for every team, and he mentioned that I was the most optimistic on your A's. Now, I don't remember exactly what it was, the number, but there's definitely plenty to be excited about. Really like the young pitching, and I like the veteran additions as well, the former Giant pitchers. Those guys are good. There's a reason you guys ended up with them. So I'm excited. I watch every game of every team anyway, so I'll be there watching.
Did the number start with a 6?
I think so.
All right. I'll take it. I just got to ask you before we let you go, for the Commander, Cody, fired up. He thinks his Pirates are going to be better. How you look? It may not produce the greatest regular season division champ, but the NL Central should be really, really fun to watch this year.
Really fascinating. I think I have the Cubs winning the division. There's so many teams that are so interesting, with the Pirates, with the Reds, with the Brewers, even without Corbin Burns. But O'Neill Cruz has had an amazing spring, and I'm so excited for him to have a healthy season and for us to see everything he can do. So they could be really, really fun this year.
I saw that O'Neill Cruz is leading in like exit velo. He had 6 home runs. I saw all of them. My friends back there are super excited.
You don't have to send him back to the minor leagues like Skeens to check all the boxes and make sure he's ready.
Yeah, that one still upsets me, Sarah, that Paul Skeens isn't going to start the year on the roster, but it's okay. They got guys like Keller and guys in the rotation. I'm excited for them. I'm not saying they're going to win the Central, but I do like hearing everyone's optimism on them this year. I just hope that they won 76 last year. They can get to 80, 81. I'd be happy with that. It's a 500 season, 81. As long as we don't hit 20 years again. As long as they don't hit 20 years again, that's all I care about.
20 years of under 500.
Yes.
No, regardless of what the number is, they're going to be really fun to watch. I think that's a really good step in the right direction for them. I love Kieran Hayes. Any chance for him to play on a good team is a really good thing for everybody involved.
Sarah, tell our fans, the fight against ALS, tell our fans where they can help donate for the fight, please.
Yeah. So, I always say people should look into research, looking for cures and donating wherever means the most to them. I have a campaign with fist bumps for ALS. You can find it on my Twitter page, Slings on Sports. And I tend to direct people to an organization called Project ALS.
We love you, Sarah. Love you to death. And I know this is such a great time for you, the start of baseball season. So you be well. We'll talk to you soon, and enjoy opening day. And always thank you so much for your time. We love you.
Thank you so much. Have fun with opening day and your old friend, Stephen Bode.
Yeah, we'll be great. See you, Sarah. Thank you.
Yeah.
The great Sarah Langs. And I love the fact that she is, obviously, a lot of you know her story, fighting ALS and not stopping working and doing what she loves, and that's baseball. And like she said, go to her Twitter page, donate, help the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And she does a great job. And, anytime there's stuff, people promoting ALS, she's always on top of it. The baseball is the best shirt from RotoWire, RotoChamp. I bought one of them last year. It's a great shirt. I did it to help support Sarah and ALS. I've donated to her fund before. So I'm always glad we can still have her on, because she still knows baseball better than most. And the research she does and the stats she puts out on Twitter, and she's helped me with getting a lot better at that. So I appreciate that. And I heard her prediction on the Pirates on Buster's podcast. I wasn't going to bring it up with her, but I'm glad she's excited, and I'm waiting for Buster to do the preview on the A's so I can hear what everyone said, because I heard Hembo say the other day, Giants are going to win 90 now. Blake Snell, 90.
90.
Seems
90?
Like, seems like a lot.
90?
Yeah. Blake Snell really add you 7 more wins or whatever their win total was. I think
normally I would really comment and I would get into Towny's little bookie shop, but I don't think these times are the times to be doing that.
Probably not. No.
Probably not. Huh?
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to censor yourself.
Yeah.
I'm going to censor myself, so we're not going to talk about Towny's bookie shop.
Maybe,
not appropriate.
Maybe once
once it calms down, yeah. We have fun with it. But Ohtani's ruined Towny's bookie shop.
So, yeah.
Hey, I love when anybody brings up the Yankees now, right? It's the same story, and she was buying into the narrative. Oh, you're getting one. So, like, who's playing defense? They're a bunch of slugs.
Yes. I mean, you got Rizzo. He's about the only one that's good on defense.
He is actually very good on defense. And you know what?
Aaron Judge is good.
And he was having a good year last year until he had the concussion problems.
Yeah, and he did.
And Aaron Judge is a freak in center field. I mean,
but Verdugo, Soto.
Let's throw it out there. There's never been a human being larger than Aaron Judge play Major League Baseball.
Correct. Position players, correct.
Not pitcher-wise. Who's been bigger than him?
What is, like, height-wise?
No. Largest human being.
Oh, yeah, then no. I was thinking about just height. There's been pitchers.
I didn't say height. I said largest human being. Yeah, Randy Johnson was taller, but Randy Johnson didn't weigh anywhere close to Aaron Judge.
No.
Chris Young was 6'10". I don't know how big. I don't know. But Chris Young, I'm thinking about Chris Young now as a GM
of the Rangers,
not as a pitcher. Maybe he's a basketball guy. Yeah. He couldn't weigh that much. Aaron Judge is like, I don't know what he tips the scale at, what they report him as, but you're talking like 6'7", like 280 pounds. He's a massive man.
Aaron Judge is 6'7", 282, according to MLB.com.
He's 282. That's a pretty good guess by me.
Yeah.
He's 282. He's 20 pounds from being an offensive tackle in the NFL, playing center field. He's a freak. When he walks out onto the field, you just go, my God, this guy's huge. Like, when I was traveling with the Raiders and you'd be on the plane and the buses, you just couldn't believe how big the offensive linemen are.
Oh, yeah.
They're just massive. They're just massive. Aaron Judge is that size.
It's pretty remarkable.
You're just, these human beings in the NFL are just so big and they eat so much, and it's crazy. Colton Miller, the
UCLA great?
Out of UCLA, the first-round pick for the Raiders. He was so huge. Like, he's got to have his own row on the plane. He doesn't. Lincoln Kennedy, my old broadcast partner, arguably the greatest right tackle in Raiders history, the Pro Bowl. Lincoln Kennedy barely fits on a plane. I mean, if Aaron Judge wanted to gain that kind of weight, I mean, you basically have like defensive tackles are that size. He's a defensive tackle, an NFL defensive tackle playing center field, not first base, not DH. He's playing center field. He's a freak.
Yeah.
Like everybody says Shohei Ohtani's a freak. No. This dude's a freak. He's 280 pounds playing center field, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, he really is. And like when the reverse, when you talk about defensive tackle, because he just retired. Congrats on a great career, Aaron Donald.
He
Aaron
retired?
Donald, yeah, Aaron Donald
just signed with somebody.
No, I thought he retired last week.
I thought he signed a one-year deal with somebody.
He had a deal with the Rams when he signed, and he retired. He's only like 32 or 33, but
look at how big he is.
He was like 6 foot. He's only 6 foot tall as a defensive lineman. Aaron Donald was 6'1".
What weight?
I think he was like 280 maybe. Let me see. Aaron Donald, according to Pro Football Reference, 6'1", 280.
He's 6'7", 282. Aaron Donald will be in the Hall of Fame, 6'1", 280. You got a defensive tackle playing center. But the rest of them, I mean, that's the thing. It's like it's like not fun to talk about, but the reality is you have 162 different games. Each day, how do you win games? If you don't play defense, you don't run well, you're not athletic, and today where we can't hide you with shifting and stuff like that, that's where you talk about Muncy being a butcher at third base for the Dodgers. Well, Justin Turner wasn't so hot at third, and Seager's range isn't that great. But what would they do? They'd shift everybody over, and they'd help those guys. Well, you can't do that now. So if you're not good defensively and you got a bunch of slugs out there who just hit home runs, what ends up happening? You get some injuries, and next thing you know, you only win. What did the Yankees win last year? 81 games, something like that?
Yeah.
I think that 81, 82 wins, whatever. I mean, I don't know how you think just because they're the Yankees and they're going to – what did they do last year? All they did was hit home runs. They didn't hit doubles. They didn't take extra bases. They don't – you got to be able to go first to third, second to home. You got the – it's a sport. You got to be able to play the sport. And when you have a bunch of slugs who just hit home runs and they don't play defense, they don't run well, it just it doesn't work.
Yeah, and
this isn't like late 90s, early 2000s, everybody's on steroids and everybody's just trying to hit home runs, and that's not how it works. You got to be athletic.
And what the Yankees will end up doing most likely is they'll take Soto out late in games because they have Trent Grisham, who they got.
Soto, as we learned, especially when he went to San Diego, and talking to San Diego coaches, he's not good defensively.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, Stanton's a slug. Oh, he DHs now anyway. But Verdugo's not a great outfielder.
There's another. Stanton. Really?
I mean, their backup outfielders, they have Oswaldo Cabrera and they have Trent Grisham. Now, Grisham's is a very
Cabrera's
good
a decent athlete.
And Grisham's a great defensive outfielder. Although he butchered that ball in the playoffs, everyone remembers against the Nats in 2019. But when he was at the Brewers, but he's still a very good defensive outfielder. So he'll come in for Soto late in games.
That was a ball right at him with a funky spin.
Yeah,
that's not testing his athleticism. But my whole thing is they lack athleticism.
Oh yeah, besides
DJ
Judge,
LeMahieu, how old is he?
35.7, so almost 36 years old.
Oh my God, Rizzo's 34. About to be 36. Judge is about to be 35.
No, 32 for Judge. That's Stanton's almost 35.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Stanton's almost 30. Good luck.
They're too good at the two best athletes in their lineup right now. Volpe and Judge.
Yeah,
I would go. Sorry, Jose Trevino. I like you as a catcher.
Volpe stole a ton of bags last year.
He ended up. They haven't projected
it's over 20. Right?
Yeah, they haven't projected to be a 2020 guy this year. Fangraphs does. We'll see.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we were excited down at spring training for the A's. The A's got athletes, man. Right? I mean, you look around, you go, man, we got guys that can move. Going to be way better defensively.
Maybe that's something we should get into. The 7 that article that our good friend Anthony Castrovince did.
Yeah, we might have flipped a national writer right here on this show. Doesn't happen often.
No.
Coming up next, did this show influence a national writer to change his perspective on the 2024 A's? We'll find out next right here on A's Cast Live.
Hey, Oakland A's fans, join your team this spring in Mesa. With nonstop flights direct from Oakland, there's never been a better time to head to the Southwest. Surrounded by the stunning Sonoran Desert, spring training fans know why Arizona is the perfect spring break escape. Miles of trails, shoreline, and sunshine combine for an unforgettable Arizona adventure. There's simply no shortage of things to do, see, and discover in Mesa. Get your visitor's guide at visitmesa.com.
Nestled in the hills of San Jose, minutes from Silicon Valley, Cinnabar Hills Golf Club offers 27 holes of championship golf, first-class pro shop, practice facility, and great food in the grill. This time of year also means family and business get-togethers. Let the folks at Cinnabar Hills make your event unforgettable while enjoying their award-winning venue. It's all there for you. Championship golf, a great space for any events, and incredible food. See it all at CinnabarHills.com. That's CinnabarHills.com.
This is Chris Townsend. There are two things that are a must for me: comfort and style. Whether I'm playing golf, going to dinner, I've got to have the right feel. That's why I've partnered with Linksole, and you're going to love Linksole. They have just released their new spring line, new fabrics for their polos, lightweight and perfect for technical performance. Linksole also has new styles for their layers and hoodies with cool prints and seasonal colors. You know what they say in the big leagues: look good, play good. Go to linksole.com. That's linksole.com.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is the #1 brand of online mattresses and the Bay Area's favorite mattress store. Take home the Easy Breather pillow. The New York Times calls it their #1 pick. You can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and Gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland and you get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
Ever since we got Xfinity, we have Wi-Fi all over the house, even in my hiding spots.
Ha! Found you.
How?
That's wall-to-wall Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Now through March 21st, get started with 200 megabit internet for $25 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and get Wi-Fi equipment included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires paperless bill and auto-pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary.
A's general manager David Forst was on A's Cast Live during the winter meetings and explained why the team was moving Mason Miller to the bullpen.
Mason's tried starting now over 3 years, minor leagues, big leagues, keeps coming up with something, and we're going to try the pen. And you know, to Mason's credit, he's open to whatever. He's obviously a little disappointed. I think everybody wants to be a starter when it comes down to it. But I mean, he, you know, obviously, like you said, with his stuff, he could have a really impressive career in the bullpen. But we told him this is not permanent. Like, go out there, let's try and keep you healthy for a year. That's got to be the first step. That way you help yourself, you help the team, and then we can reevaluate.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
If you're looking for a great place to eat and watch games, go see our friends at the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. The Chicken Pie Shop is one of the hottest restaurants in Walnut Creek. You're not going to find a better menu, and come try the world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next private party or corporate event. Don't forget free parking. For more information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
And the underdogs, Oakland Athletics, win their first championship since they were in Philadelphia in 1930.
Hi, I'm Raleigh Fingers, Hall of Famer, 3-time World Series champion with the Oakland A's and World Series MVP. Winning takes teamwork, skill, and heart. So when you need an ace for a personal injury lawyer that will win you the game, go with the winning team. Call Venardi Zerata at 833-VZ-for-me or go to vzlawfirm.com. Venardi Serrata, the official injury law firm of the Oakland A's.
Like sports, business is about winning. Championship decisions are business decisions based on what it takes to help your company win. And that's why there's UBO Business Services, specializing in helping you win every day by streamlining workflows, managing documents, and providing the best-in-class office technology. Make your championship decision with UBO Business Services. Visit them at ubeo.com. That's ubeo.com.
If you're looking for the latest green and gold gear for the 2023 season, then look no further than athletics.com/shop for your officially licensed gear. That's athletics.com/shop.
Streaming from the studio, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
Miles Straw.
Wow. Waivers.
I
didn't see that coming.
Elvis Andrus released by the D-backs. Got a lot going on.
We're getting closer.
Got a lot going on. Wyatt Langford. He's going to be a Ranger. Jackson Holliday being sent down.
What did it say about Kurtz and
Colton Wong triggers opt-out with Orioles. Yuri Perez, we knew about this. Yuri Perez will start on the IL. He's a dynamic young pitcher for the Marlins. He's trending Tommy John. Trevor Gott, we told you today with the A's. Tommy John. Let's see anything else here. Tyler Beatty, the former Giant, and Carlos Carrasco will make the opening roster.
Cookie Carrasco back.
We weren't on the air yesterday. Michael Lorenzen is signed with the Rangers.
Correct, yeah. It was a very friendly deal, right? It was only like $4 million or something.
4.5.
Yeah.
All right.
What was the thing? There was a thing on there about Heston Kirkshed, one of the other Orioles' top prospects. One of the Jackson Holliday thing. He's an outfielder. He's a first rounder. Towards the top. It was in the Jackson Holiday thing. I think it was right after that, yeah. Right after Colton Wong.
The breaking news of Colton Wong.
Oh, wow. Okay, they optioned those guys on. They're all having decent springs.
Yeah, let's send all our good players down so we don't have to pay them. By the way, you have not commented on my hat. Brand new hat.
I like it. Swinging Ace. Matches the shirt.
So I've had this sweatshirt now for a while. And then, of course, somehow Instagram knows what I like. And this hat popped up from Fanatics. It's the Swingin' A's hat. So I got the Swingin' A's hat to match the Swingin' A's sweatshirt.
I like it.
How about that?
It'll
be a new addition for 2024.
We'll go over this quickly because we want to get back into Ohtani. But our good friend Anthony Kastrovitz, who was on with us earlier this week from MLB.com.
By the way, do not follow me on Instagram. Do not. I don't know how people have found me. I don't even know what my handle is. People have followed me, and I'm like, I have never posted a thing on Instagram. I am never going to post anything on this. All Instagram is to me is barbecue tips and golf tips and stuff my kids are affiliated with. That's it. Do not follow me. I'm never going to post ever on Instagram. I'm done with social media. Done.
Not a big Facebook guy.
Now every once in a while I'll pop on, but I'm done. I'm out of that business, and I'm free.
The only thing I post on is Instagram. I don't post on Twitter anymore. Facebook, no.
I am
don't even
free.
Don't even have TikTok.
Oh God, it feels so good not to have to deal with that.
So the article titled from Anthony Kastrovitz, MLB.com, 7 outlandish predictions for the 2024 season. The first couple, interesting. Well, it's already not going to happen. It could still happen, but not right now. Jackson Holliday will win the AL MVP award as a rookie.
That's going to be really hard when you're sent down for the first couple months because they don't want to start your clock.
You better have
that puts you. Buster Posey did it.
Yeah, true. Well, he wanted his second year, right?
But the problem is, well, that's why he was in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
You're going to have all these. If you're sent down, you're going to have all these other Orioles putting up numbers. You got no shot.
You got Adley. You got.
So he's already. This is already. I like it's outlandish predictions.
Yes.
We love big, bad, bold. That one not looking so hot.
Okay, next one. This one's interesting because I thought about doing this when we give our predictions.
You don't have the guts.
So I'm going to combine them together. The Dodgers and the Rangers will both miss the postseason.
You don't have the guts. You, who had to pay for my dinner last night, do not have the guts to say the Dodgers won't make the postseason.
Oh no, not for that kind of. But yeah, those are the two.
And by the way, Cody did pay up. Johnny is on the board with a steak dinner that he owes me, but Cody did pay up on his bet. He's lost the last 2 years now.
Yeah, we'll save the A's one for last real quick.
I've been waiting for you to have some type of. I think you're worried.
No, I just haven't thought of anything yet.
Okay, you haven't had anything crazy that you've thrown out on the show that I can challenge and bet you on. I'm waiting.
Patrick Corbin will be an all-star and a midseason trade chip. I think the trade chip, he makes like $35 million. I don't know how you're going to trade him.
I mean, if anybody is grinding Nats baseball, I just...
Division winners will include Mariners, Phillies, Blue Jays, Royals, and yes, the Pirates.
Wait, what? Hold on. Mariners, possible. Phillies,
possible.
There'll be a wild card team. Blue Jays, no way.
Royals, maybe.
That division stinks.
And then the Pirates, that division, we don't know.
Okay, Good stories. Royals Pirates making the playoffs would be fun.
I agree.
And my God, I mean, the Mariners, you lost on the last weekend.
Yes.
But
true.
get to the A's.
Well, last one before the A's. The Diamondbacks will return to the World Series and win it this time.
Torey Lovello brings it home. What a great story that would be. Here you got the absolute mess to start the season now with Shohei Ohtani. You got the Giants, who, by the way, just talking about the Yankees not being athletic. How did the Giants, like you said, people are now going, oh, look out for the Giants. Giants were dead last in stolen bases last year.
Correct, like 54.
Dead last. Giants stunk defensively.
Also fact.
Matt Chapman makes you better athletically. Matt Chapman makes you better defensively. But actually, J.D. Davis rated out as a pretty decent third baseman.
Yeah,
played
first today.
Matt Chapman's all world. But Matt Chapman just strikes out a lot. And only hit 17 home runs in the AL East in that ballpark. Now he's going to be in cold San Francisco every night. I don't know where you got is Blake Snell going to start stealing bases? Is Blake Snell going to play defense?
Is Blake Snell going to win a Cy Young, or is he going to be Blake Snell?
Blake Snell going to throw more than 5 innings an outing? I mean, how did the Giants all of a sudden, once again, when you play the game every single day, how did you really get better? Did your defense get really a lot better? Did your athletic ability, your ability to run, the ability to steal bags, did they get better?
No, that's actually what I was thinking. Thank you for saying that. That's what I'm thinking of. We'll do the A's, and I have a bet I might have.
So you could, because your Giant buddies are all giddy right now, you could just ask them, did you really get better?
My favorite about that.
You got better pitching wise. I'm not going to say you didn't, but did you get better? I mean, you stole it was
54, I think.
54. I was going to say 57.
It's somewhere. It was one of those numbers.
It was the lowest in baseball by a ton. They're like gift wrapping stolen bases in the game right now. They're begging. The league is begging you to steal bases right now, and you stole a league low, and you're saying I thought it was 57. It was 54?
Yeah, let me find it. Because
how do you only steal 54 bases when they can only throw over twice?
Yeah, well, they didn't really have.
Third time, they don't get you. It's a freebie. I mean, how are you not taking bags at will?
The A's part is from Anthony Castro. That's why I look up the Giants. The A's will be better than you think.
So Anthony did his thing about every single team.
You were right, 57.
It was 57.
I shortchanged them 3.
Wow. 57, that's it? Like the next closest team was in the 70s, right?
The Angels, it's 72.
Shohei had a lot of those.
No, Ohtani's gone, and Trout doesn't steal bases anymore.
All right, we should bet this. Who will have the least amount of stolen bases, Angels or Giants?
Ooh, Giants didn't really add any athletes. Oh, well,
Shohei Ohtani.
Jung-Hoo Lee could be a guy.
He's coming off a bad ankle.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani, he was like half your stolen bases.
Yeah, how many did he have last year?
Didn't he have over 20?
Shohei Ohtani.
I mean, Shohei Ohtani took, if LeBron was taking his talents to South Beach, Shohei took his money to a bookie, but then he also took his stolen bases.
Wow, that allegedly, you don't know.
No, it was his money went to the bookie.
True.
Those are the facts.
He was a 2020 guy.
How many stolen bases?
20.
He had 20 out of your 72.
So they sold 52. They sold less than the Giants.
Folks, they're begging you to steal bases. They're begging you.
Last time I checked, Trout is not a base stealer anymore. So
they're like, okay, pitcher throws over once. Okay, pitcher throws over again. Now he has to get me, or I get balk, and I get to go to second base.
Well, I'm sorry. Do you think Rendon's going to start stealing bags?
Oh my God!
But yeah, A's will be better than you think, is what Cashman has in his article, and I think it might have been because you might have influenced him from a couple of days ago on the show, telling him how you think the team's going to be a lot better than a lot of people think.
Okay. So we had Anthony on 2 days ago.
I think we had him on Monday.
Was it Monday?
Monday.
Love Anthony Castrovents. We always promote his book.
It's right there.
I have it right here still. He's a great book. I think it's a good book for everybody who wants to just kind of dabble in analytics and kind of get into it a little bit. And this year, I've already decided in the post-game show, when people are like, analytics is ruining the game. I'm like, dude, everything is data. Batting average technically is data. Anything that you're adding up, anything that accumulates is data.
Wins are data.
It's data.
Just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know if I'm breaking news or not.
RBIs are data.
Team stat.
It's a team data stat then. I mean, right? I mean, everything's data. So why do we act like, oh, this data is ruining the game? Well, everything's data. Anytime you take numbers and you count the numbers, that's data. So whether it's, and everything that baseball teams are using, like if you go to Baseball Savant, oh my God, his spin rate on his slider is 3,000. That's all. You're just tracking. It's data. It's like every business has data. So let's stop with the data's ruining baseball. Can we just? I mean, I'm just gonna have to end that on the post-game show this year. Just like everybody, just stop. Come on, you're killing me with that. Everything's data. Numbers are data. So you may like certain data, you may not like certain data, but the bottom line is everything's data. Numbers. Counting.
I'll save
your data.
I'll save my my take on old people and not being able to use computers, and that's what's ruining the game, not data.
You can't build a team with a computer,
Billy.
Yeah. So Anthony comes on. He wrote his thing, one thing for every team, and he did ballpark relocation stuff. And I just basically go, do you think these players? Do you really think these, and we had on from MLB Radio.
Oh, Chris Jimenez.
Chris Jimenez, former player from Gilroy, 10 years in the big leagues. And I said, these young players, these guys are winning jobs in the big leagues. This is their dream to play. They could be playing on the moon. They could be playing in Alaska, and it's game on. I know you want everybody to feel the way you feel, but players are here to have a career, get paid, and play baseball. It's the same thing I dealt with the Raiders. Those guys are in the NFL to get paid, win games, have a career. It's just the way it is. And so we kind of got, questioned him a little bit going, come on, are we going to cover the team? What about the team? What about... Well, 3 days later, now all of a sudden, Anthony Castroventz, after he comes on this show, is like, hey, the A's could be better than you think. Yes, because they are going to be better than you think.
It's right here. The A's will be, and all bold, the A's will be better than you think.
Thank you. Maybe we talked a little sense. They're going to win more than 50 games. If you win 51, which would be still historically bad, you'd be one game improvement, but they're going to be a lot better than that.
Yes. So
now he's actually talking about the team. When he did his one thing and it was all about the stuff away from the field, now he comes out with a new article and now he's bringing up players' names. He's talking about, he's got J.D. Davis being in there now.
Arrivals of Darryl Hernandez and the new Max Muncy.
The Max Muncy 2.0. He's got Geloff in there. Geloff's a special player. He's got Joe Boyle, Mason Miller. Come on.
Wood and Stripling you mentioned because they were veteran signings.
You still have to talk about the team that's on the field. It's still a sport, and you still got to, no matter what the business is, you still got to talk about the team on the field in the business. Or I should say, you still got to talk about the team despite what's going on. You still got to talk about the team.
Yes, I get what you're saying.
The players, they're still going to play. They're still going to play 162 games this season, and they're going to do everything they can to do what's best for themselves and their families long term. And that's be successful. That's just how the world works. So everything that you see about us, it's always about not on the field. So guess what happens? If this team, as we predict, will be better, all of a sudden that will start to flip really fast. They start winning games, people will be like, oh, wow, that's better than last year. And we'll be like, duh, we've been telling you this in spring training. Man, it's just like everybody is fallen prisoner to this narrative. And I get where people are at, especially fans, but you got to we're still going to do this season. The season's not canceled. The season is still going to be played. And it took one conversation with a national writer, and probably he probably left us and went, you know what, those guys are right. Because whenever we talk to people, and I talked to a bunch of people at Mike Farron's barbecue, people who are in our business, when you talk to them, everybody comes to their senses and goes, yeah, that's right. This is a conversation that's not hard to have. Like, you can focus on everything over here, but the reality is we're going to play games and there's going to be a team on the field. And all of a sudden, this team is a lot better than 50 wins. So at some point, you're going to have to talk about it. So it's good to see that. We got Johnny D going to be joining us. Who do we got today? I got to even check.
Split squad. We're playing the Reds.
You know what? I saw that earlier. We had two lineups. I saw there's one. Nick Allen is leading off on one.
Ours is, here's our lineup. Here you go. Hold on. There it is. There's our lineup against the Reds. Look who's playing first base.
J.D. Davis. Why is it Seth? Have you noticed Seth Brown never plays first base, and all of a sudden the season starts and he'll end up at first base?
Yeah. Well, we talked about last year. Remember, Seth Brown, he can play first base. He didn't play first base at all in spring training last year.
And then he ended up playing some first base. Yeah. Okay.
So Blade center, Geloff at second, Rooker DH, Langoliers catching, Seth Brown in right, J.D. Davis at first, Abraham Toro at third, Max Schumann in left, Max Muncy 2.0 at shortstop, and Alex Wood, our opening day starter, on the mound against the Reds, coming up here at 1:05. Actually 1 o'clock here on A's Cast. And
this lineup is what's going to be on A's Cast?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, here's the deal with the roster. Here's the deal with position players. Pitchers, man, it's always, but position players, there's two guys right now that can play shortstop. That's Allen and Hernandez.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Am I missing somebody?
No, I was going to say, I looked it up. Abraham Toro played like one game in the minors. And
Abraham Toro's never played shortstop
in Major League Baseball.
Major League Baseball. And Aletmus Diaz, I don't know if if Aletmus Diaz heals fast and he's ready to go, it's a different story. But until we hear he's going to be ready to go for opening day, right now you got two guys on basically on your roster, because Max Muncy 2.0 will start in the minor leagues. Boy, he's gotten a lot bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, he's growing up. So you got to have two guys. You got to have two guys who can play shortstop on the roster. You have to. Now, you could flip the script on me and go, well, Ruiz played shortstop back in the day.
I talked to Toads at a dinner last night.
In the Padres organization. But he hasn't played in the infield for a long time. So right now, technically, you only have two guys.
It's not that hard, Wash.
If Diaz can't go, you have two guys on the roster who can play shortstop. You got to have two guys. You got to have two guys that can play on it. So if you're going to keep Toro, then you've got to send one of the outfielders down. Then you only have 5 outfielders. If you have 6 outfielders, and obviously the one of these outfielders playing DH too. If you keep 6 guys, then you can only have 5 infielders. Well, you got to have at least 2 of them who can play short.
Which leads you to think it could be Hernandez and Allen.
Correct. But
unless you want to go with the old SC could play there.
But if you're going to keep Toro on the roster, then you're going to send one of the outfielders down.
Yeah.
Okay. I just got sent this. Pretty funny. At this pace, on March 26th, Ohtani will claim he had never met Epi, the interpreter, and by April 3rd, he'll be speaking fluent English and claiming he never had a translator. That's funny. That is very funny. That's coming from a Padres account. My Mets buddy, who's a lawyer, I've been asking him a bunch of questions today. He's sending me that. So a Mets guy sending me a Padre tweet. Yeah. Once again, at this pace on March 26th, Ohtani will claim he had never met Epi, the interpreter, and by April 3rd, he'll be speaking fluent English and claiming he never had a translator. This is the problem. The facts don't change, Money from Shohei Ohtani's account went to an illegal bookmaker in the state of California who's being investigated by the FBI. Those facts don't change. No one is disputing that the money to pay off the bookie was from Shohei Ohtani's account. The dispute now is whether he knew about it or not. No one's disputing, no one's accusing him of gambling. Everybody, even the bookmaker said, never talk to Ohtani. No one is saying Ohtani ever bet on a thing. No one's saying the interpreter ever talked with Ohtani about gambling. I mean, hey, what do you think about Arsenal beating Chelsea? Wasn't he betting on international soccer?
Yeah, well, you went deep there.
Wow, that's
big football guy.
Big soccer guy. I don't even know how I pulled those two out. But Arsenal, Chelsea, or who else is over there?
Manchester United.
Manchester United.
Man City.
Well, you got all the Spanish league.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go with who's the team that Ted Lasso? Richmond FC.
You know, did the interpreter ever say, hey, what do you think about that? Or did the interpreter ever look at Towny and go, hey, I don't know. Wizards up against the
oh, wow. Wizards Bucks.
Wizards Rockets tonight, Shohei. What do you think? You like the over?
Hey, I got Brown Steelers tonight on Monday Night Football.
God, I'm really stressing this tonight. What do you think? It's the Bills up against the Dolphins. You like, hey, Shohei, what do you think of Josh Allen? Can't win the big one.
Hey, Patriots are going up against the Vikings, and I really don't know if
is Shohei going, hey, Tom Brady's not there anymore. I pound it. Get it. Because folks, if he bet $4.5 million, this dude is betting like on everything nonstop. Nonstop. Do you even realize this isn't cards, right? This isn't you're like racking up, like, you know how fast you win and lose in blackjack. It can go really, really, really fast. You're betting games. It takes hours he has to be betting so much because he's not pounding. It's not like I said earlier, he's not throwing $500,000 on the Super Bowl. This guy's betting over time. To accumulate over time, $4.5 million is a crazy amount of gambling. So that's why the whole thing, Cody mentioned it earlier, he has one account that immediately if it goes under, he gets notified. Everything we do in life, we've got to prove. You want to go on your accounts. You want to. I joked yesterday about this fantasy thing. Like all of a sudden they were sending a code to my phone to prove it was me. I mean, we get notified about everything. And you're now going to be like, I have no idea how $4.5 million left my account. And now the rumors of parents, and they're in control, and maybe the interpreter went through the parents. I mean, it's just whatever. You're not allowed to pay off a bookie.
Correct. You can't have a bookie in California anyway.
Can't have a bookie, but yes, in the end. But like I said earlier, I could make a bet with a bookie. But if I never pay him, what did I do that's illegal? There was just two human beings, and I said, hey, I like the Browns. The payment is the thing. You illegally paid the bookie.
I don't think I've ever heard someone say, I like the Browns in this game. But I agree where you're going.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. The bookie got paid from an account. That account is Shohei Ohtani's account. There you go. That's the facts of the case right there. Now we got to figure out what's real. So one day, the interpreter's doing a 90-minute interview with ESPN, spilling the beans. The next day, he completely changes his story. Now it's a criminal thing.
Theft is what they're claiming. Theft. Disavowed what he said. Lawyers. Ohtani's lawyers. That's what the ESPN story. Tisha Thompson's doing a great job covering it for ESPN.
Yeah, I mean, it's the lawyers are going, my God, how could you possibly allow him to talk to ESPN? Retract. I mean, everybody can see that. The LA Times is already on this going, this is fishy.
Yeah. They were the ones that broke the story initially, I'm pretty sure.
This is fishy.
Yeah.
So no one's accusing. So the bookmaker's not accusing Ohtani of gambling. The interpreter's not accusing him. So no one's gambling. So the whole Pete Rose thing is out. If that's all true, the Pete Rose thing is out. But the point is, even in our baseball rules, us as baseball employees, we cannot pay off a bookie.
Correct.
Now, if Ohtani was paying off a casino in Nevada, that's legal. We all can go into Nevada and we can all bet on anything but baseball. Correct?
From the way I interpreted the rule, yes.
So if Ohtani's interpreter had gone to Vegas and bet $4.5 million on the Super Bowl and lost, Ohtani could pay off, pick a casino, MGM. And it'd be all good. But it's California and it's illegal.
Yeah. It's one of the 10. We're one of the 10 states that doesn't have it.
ESPN is claiming that is it 2 different wires? And whatever the checks say loan on it. I mean, there's a lot to be, because there's also a precedent here you got to set if you're baseball. You know, we can't go the Chris Carter fall guy. Got to have a fall guy. Do you have that?
I do, yeah. Hold on, let me grab it. It's him speaking to rookies. He actually ended up walking it back and apologizing, but here's what Chris Carter had to say years ago.
Hall of Famer, NFL Hall of Famer.
I know none of y'all gonna never drink, leg. I know none of y'all gonna never use no drugs and everything. All y'all gonna go to Bible study. I realize that, but still get you a fall guy. Okay? If you're gonna have a crew, make sure they understand can't nothing happen to you.
So who's the fall guy here? Parents.
So essentially it's
interpreter. A lot to play out.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll find out more probably over the week. Now the Dodgers are back in the States.
Yeah, think about that. Their plane's landing, and it's like, oh, boy. But once again, I said earlier, if you're just joining the show, I said, whenever we think something's a slam dunk, oh, the Dodgers are going to win the World Series, or this is going to happen. Now, I brought the Tiger Woods example, if you missed it earlier. Tiger Woods, it was the day after Thanksgiving. Nebraska, Colorado are playing. Breaking news, CBS, Tim Brando comes on. Tiger Woods at this point is the biggest star in all of sports. And Tiger Woods has been rushed to the hospital. And everybody was like, what? Tiger, what could be wrong? We found out it was the wife chasing him out of the house with the golf club in the car, runs over the fire hydrant. She's busting over the back window. No one knew. Everybody thought Tiger Woods was perfect. This guy's on pace to track down Jack Nicklaus's majors. He's on pace to be a billionaire. Beautiful wife, beautiful young kids. No one realized the old sex addiction, pain pill addiction. Life happens. That's why we can predict all we want. But life happens and things change. That's why I hate, and it's said a lot by veteran broadcasters, and I hate the back of the baseball card. I'll just refer back to the base. It's always when someone's not doing well. I'll just refer back to the baseball card. Did the back of the baseball card have gambling conspiracy on it for Ohtani?
I don't think that's listed on there.
That's not on the back of the baseball card?
I don't think it's on MJ's basketball card either.
Yes. I mean, Michael Jordan is still one of the great conspiracies that a lot of people go, really? And there's a whole, you can delve deep into that, but I mean, yeah, life happens. Nothing's a slam dunk. I mean, talk about life happens. Look at some of these teams getting bounced. Kentucky got bounced. Oakland, Michigan.
My Golden Grizzlies. But Duquesne bouncing BYU. You know, you all slept on Duquesne. They were 11 seed. It's not like they're that big of an upset, but
it's one game, man. The shots don't fall. Life happens, and you're bounced.
Johnny D told me Duquesne had no shot whatsoever. They shouldn't even been in the tournament.
Is he here?
Oh, he's here. Yeah.
I wonder how he's doing.
Hey, that is not. First of all, Cody, that is absolutely false. You can look at my bracket. I had Duquesne. Now I've had some real stinkers, but I did have Duquesne. So don't tell mistruths about my bracket. Okay.
Since we've been on the air, has there been a major upset today? Did Baylor end up winning
against Colgate?
Yeah. Did they?
UAB is that an upset? If UAB that'll be an upset on San Diego State, right?
Yeah, that was a 12-5.
They beat San Diego State?
That was a 12-5.
Right? By one, but and Western Kentucky's down by 5 to Marquette. Western Kentucky had like a 9-point lead.
It was in Maxim Magazine years ago. Not that I always read it. Maxim Magazine years ago had that whole thing, and I didn't know this, that there's always a 12 being a 5, if not two 12s being a 5.
Yes.
It's like a guarantee there's going to be a 12 beat a 5. San Diego State losing to UAB, there's your 12 versus 5. It happens every year.
There we go.
There's another one today that a lot of people liked, and it was Grand Canyon over St. Mary's. A lot of people like.
Alex Jensen, what are you doing? Why would you say that?
St. Mary's, but that was the 12-5 that people were because of how good Grand Canyon was.
Can you believe he went against our guy Alex Jensen like that?
That's amazing. He's your friend to a certain point, right? And then he just steps on you, right?
Oh,
right,
yeah. Cody is no Epi. Now, let me tell you something. This Epi guy sounds like he's pretty loyal to Ohtani. This guy's no Epi.
Yeah.
No.
When Alex,
no.
When Alex told me he couldn't get me tickets to see Gonzaga and St. Mary's, I said, you know what? No, I'm not your fall guy.
Wow.
That was it. That was it for him, right? That was it. Yeah, I heard that.
By the way, I got 2 questions for you today. One, how you doing in college basketball?
I'm actually doing okay. I'm doing okay. I didn't pick Oakland over Kentucky. I didn't anything crazy like that, but I did have Duquesne. Normally I'm like at the very bottom, but I'm in like the top 10 of this pool. So I got a shot. How about you? How are you doing?
I didn't fill out a bracket.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Okay.
I'm doing okay. If you're wondering, I'm
I am.
No, we're not wondering.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering about Johnny.
Yeah.
You'd lie anyway.
You picked a bunch of chalk, I bet, didn't you?
Oh, he's Johnny Chalk.
Oh, such a
Oh,
chalk.
my God.
Yes.
You don't think he has Connecticut winning it at all?
Of course
Of
I
course
do.
he does.
I had him winning last year.
Of course he does. Number 2, probably most importantly, were you able to get past the security last night to get into the Catronio Manor for the dinner?
I was. We had a wonderful time. We played some ping pong. We had some chicken enchiladas. We had a ball. Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, I played Dom in ping pong as well. So,
did you jump in the pool?
I did not jump in the pool. Nope. No, I did not. But that's some nice digs. I mean, he's got a nice place. Wow.
His wife is the nicest human being in the world.
She is. She's great.
It just tells you opposites attract, right? Opposites attract.
Yeah, she's great, man. It was the whole family was there. It was most of the family was there. It was awesome.
Wow. So now do you feel whole that you were invited into the Catronio Manor?
I feel like it was kind of a courtesy invite at the end in front of his wife at the owner's dinner. He said, you want to come out? I know we got one more night. You want to come out? And I'm like, yeah, I would love to. So yeah, I don't know. Kind of courtesy invite, I thought, kind of at the end, but it was great.
I mean, it's an impressive spread. I mean, you get out there in Gilbert, Arizona, he's like the mayor of Gilbert.
It is out there though. It is out there. I'll tell you that. It's a drive. It's a haul.
I didn't realize Gilbert was that far out, even though I'm more of a Scottsdale guy, and you and I now are more downtown Mesa guys as we find more places. But yeah, Gilbert is not, but beautiful out there.
No, it was nice. It was a nice little drive, and yeah, it was good to get out there on an off day. And Towny, we're close. 2 days, and then we got the exhibition games, two of those, and then Cleveland Guardians. Tyler Beatty made that Cleveland Guardian team, by the way. You guys talked about that, right?
Yeah, we had that earlier.
Yep.
Gott going down with the Tommy John makes it. Predicting the bullpen can be because we got starters you got one starter who is a Rule 5 guy you really like. You got another starter who doesn't have options. I mean, Medina being hurt, being put on the IL, I can't imagine if he was healthy, but yeah, it's the bullpen decisions are going to be interesting.
They are. Kotze said something interesting in the scrum about the fact that sometimes these decisions, he goes, it seems like every year a lot of these decisions are made for you with injuries. And I don't know if he was implying.
Alexander with the rib problem, the lefty.
Yes. So at least as far as breaking camp opening day, there are some decisions already made for them. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But it was very disappointing for Gott himself and for the team because he was going to be a key part of that bullpen. So just got to move on and that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, it's horrible to hear, right? Because you're gonna have the surgery, and it means you're out for 12 months. Well, I don't know. I mean, the bracket, until we know exactly which procedure he has, but what we would know is without the bracket, Tommy John, you're out for at least a year, at least.
No question. question. I don't think he's had a Tommy John before, so it's almost like standard. It's almost like rite of passage these days. You're going to get a Tommy John at some point with a lot of these guys. You know,
it's awful, man. And it like this is a major surgery, man. This is no joke. And now baseball, and especially with like youth baseball, people make it seem like it's not a big deal. No, it is a big deal. And there's no guarantee you're ever the same.
No. The way they do these surgeries, it seems like guys come back sometimes stronger, and they come back fine. But it is a major surgery. You're right. I mean, this is a major one for sure.
So down there in Arizona, obviously the baseball world is there, and it's hard to believe that the NCAA tournament could get knocked off as the top story, and Ohtani's the top story. What's everybody saying around camp?
Everybody's curious about it. Everybody's talking about it. It's, we always joke, everybody's talking about it in a joking way, but everybody is talking about this one. And so everybody's got a different opinion about it. More stuff's going to come out. I guess the thing that surprised a lot of people is that the story was changed, right? I think that's what kind of perked everybody's ears up, is that the story changed, right? So that's what I think everybody's waiting to see. I don't have enough information on it to even comment on it, but it sure is taking the baseball world by storm for sure, and the whole news world by storm,
Yeah, and just think, when, it's one thing when it's breaking and you're in South Korea. Now you got to come back home.
Yes. Yeah, no question. I mean, look, in the LA media is not quite the New York media, obviously, but it's still going to be, he's going to have a lot of people asking him questions for sure.
Well, yeah, we know, we heard a reporter on earlier with Dan Patrick and from the LA Times. The LA Times is going to be all over this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're talking about there's a lot they need to. I'm looking to see, when is their opening day. Do they open against so it looks like they open at home March 28th against the Cardinals. Opening day. Well, they're going to have the Freeway Series first. How about that? The Freeway Series 2 against. Yeah, this isn't it. You're not playing for the Angels anymore. You're playing for the Dodgers. Everybody in LA is going to be investigating this because, it's like chasing the ambulance, right? This is what it's going to be. So this Freeway Series, it was big news. Ohtani playing against the Angels in the Freeway Series. Now you think everybody in Southern California, everybody's going to be investigating this. Everybody's going to want answers. And the PR staff just standing in front of his locker trying to shield, not going to work.
No, it's not. And, look, this is not just a regular person. I mean, this is the international face of baseball. He's the face of the game, right? So that's why this thing is just blown up. It's huge. And I don't know what to think of it. It's I know it's not kind of the what was it, the 24 hours the Dodgers had with this Ohtani situation and Yamamoto getting roughed up, and he kind of had a tough spring. It has not been a great week for the Dodgers. Let's put it that way.
Damage control was not handled, let's say, the best way it could have been handled.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. How do you handle this, right? They're probably putting their heads together, figuring how do we spin this? What are we going to do on this? It's a mess.
Probably the guy that this works out best for is Yamamoto. No one's talking about how bad he was. Guy signs this massive contract, because there have been people that have said, hey, listen, I know this guy's got really good stuff, but his fastball is dead straight. Dead straight. This guy has no movement on his fastball. I haven't watched the tape 8 million times on him, but people have said it's when it's dead straight, they will time it. I mean, I know you got a good split, and you got breaking ball in it, but so this was a struggle. But no one's talking about him anymore. How many guys sign a massive contract and then their first time out, they don't even get out of the first inning? That's a rarity.
That is. Well, he got $325 million or something, and they say he's nasty. I mean, I know you talk about the straight, but look, he roughed up in spring training a little bit. Tough start there, but look, you talk to some of the Dodgers who watched him pitch and stuff. Look, I don't think it's going to be a bust. I think he's going to be fine, but it's just they say he was trying to get it because he's great low in the zone, but he was keeping everything up, and the Padres were just crushing everything. I mean, they were crushing everything he was throwing,
Yeah. You leave it up in the zone. Welcome to Major League Baseball. You're going to get
tough league. Yeah, it tends to be a tough league. Yeah. For sure.
Unless you throw really, really, really hard, then
Right.
you live up in the zone, and that's your gig. But
Exactly.
yeah, for him, he's off the map. No one's even talking about him.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And Max Muncy's bad. Max Muncy's a good dude, but no one's talking about his bad defense already. He was terrible in 2 games over there.
Well, yeah, that was another thing with the Yamamoto thing. From what I understand, there were 2 or 3 balls that should have been caught that weren't, so that was a factor too. But he was hit around. There's no question about it. But yeah, I think, look, one thing that I think people haven't talked about, Towny, is the fact that, with Betts at shortstop this year, look, I know he had 4 hits in one of the games over there in South Korea, but how much will playing 150 games at shortstop affect Mookie's offense, right? I mean, that's a very grueling position. It's very difficult to play that day in and day out. And maybe Mookie will still be, he's a machine. Maybe he still hits, but I'm telling you that people haven't really talked about the fact. I was surprised the Dodgers didn't go out and get a solid defensive shortstop, right? I mean, just get somebody, because they have so much offense. You don't have to worry about the offense, right? Keep Mookie in the outfield and get a shortstop that can glove it. I was surprised they're putting Mookie at shortstop, a grueling position like that. So we'll see how that plays out over the course of the season.
That is a very astute point by you, my friend. That's you have a guy at 31 years old, having to. I mean, obviously he played the position a long, long time ago, having to relearn the position at the big league level, how demanding it is physically, far different from right field. Far different from right field.
No question. No question. Yeah, and look, it's one thing to fill in for 35, 40 games, but to play there every single day. I didn't understand the move. I don't agree with the move. I think they should have picked somebody up. Not a Nick Ahmed, somebody better than that.
I got one for you.
I
have a prediction. Willie Adames will be a Dodger by July.
You think so? Okay.
That's my prediction.
Okay. I can see that. It's good. Well, I'll take you up on that. I still owe you that steak dinner, by the way.
Well, you're the only one left. Cody has paid his debt.
Yeah, we went yesterday, Johnny. I take care of my friends.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Wow. I mean, I was only down at spring training for 2 different trips. 2 different trips I was down spring training.
That's on me. I've been a slow pay with that. I've been a slow pay, and it's nothing to do with you, and I will take care of that debt very soon.
And this is a steak dinner, too. I mean, I cannot wait. I mean, bone-in ribeye.
I'm ready.
I mean, I cannot wait.
Anything you want on that menu, buddy.
John, I got a couple updates for you on the tournament. San Diego State up by 2 with 2 minutes left.
Okay.
Lot of time.
Marquette's up 10 with about 5 minutes left. So Marquette looks like they're pulling away. And Clemson up by 13 over New Mexico. Our boss and his good friend Richard Pitino not doing great.
Where Delaire's in Tahoe.
That's Delaire's team, yeah.
Is Delaire in a casino right now, just like sweat? He's chain smoking, walking back and forth. Oh my God!
Is he sending texts back to Richard Pitino? Like, come on, buddy, we got to win this one.
Wait, how much is left?
In that game, it's still I think early in the first half. There's still about 5 minutes left in the first half.
First half. I thought you made it like second half.
No, everything else. Sorry, Marquette's up 13 now, 4:19.
Wait, what's New Mexico? What's that score?
34-23 now.
You know what? That's actually better than it was. They were getting crushed, so they're making a little run.
They were down by 15 at one point.
Dabo's putting them on them. Dabo Sweeney, head football coach, Clemson.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Dabo over.
Just seeing if everybody's following.
Dabo over Brown Urlacher. Is that what we're doing here?
We did know your Reds over there. George Foster, Tate Klazuski, Pete Rose, Joe Morgan did that, right?
Yeah, you're good. Adam Dunn. Yeah,
That's
you're
right.
good already.
What else could know your Reds?
Oh, I asked you who the only Cy Young winner was in Reds history. Do you remember who it was?
Tom Seaver, right?
No.
Tom Seaver didn't win one with them?
They only had one, and it happened a couple years ago.
No, it was you know who it was? It was Soto.
It was Trevor Bauer.
Oh gosh. That was the 2020 season, though, right?
Yes.
Tom Terrific out of Fresno.
Tom Terrific, R.I.P. Yep.
Who great vintner up in Napa, as you said, R.I.P. Went to USC. we always throw around greatest pitchers of all time. Too many times we don't bring him up. Tom Seaver, it should. You go look at the numbers. You look at Tom Terrific as a power pitcher, end up winning 300 games. Tom Terrific is one of the great pitchers of all time.
No question. No question about it. Yeah, no, he was a great Met, great Red. He was. Tom Terrific was special for sure. No question.
I don't know what else I would like Chris Sabo. What Hal Morris?
We asked him about Sabo about the glasses.
The glasses, the rec spec glasses. I mean, Eric the Red. Eric Davis was great.
There was an
if Eric Davis doesn't have Eric Davis, it will go down as one of those guys that, and there's a lot of them that had to play every game at home on that horrific AstroTurf back. You're basically playing on concrete, and that just beat up guys' legs. If Eric Davis did in his prime could have played somewhere where he wasn't on turf, because I mean that just. Everybody tells you what that did to guys' bodies.
You know what? I mean, Dave Parker's a Hall of Famer, if not for that too, right? I mean, there's no question. He played on that turf at Three Rivers. Yeah, there's no question.
And then went to Riverfront. He went Pittsburgh to Cincinnati. He went back-to-back turf.
Yes.
How is Dave Parker not in the Hall of Fame? He's an MVP, batting champion, World Series champion multiple times. Dave Parker should be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, see, the best all-time quote, Towny, he said, two things for sure. The sun's going to shine, and I'm going 3 for 4. I love that.
And he had one of the great outfield arms.
Oh, how about that throw in the All-Star game that he nailed Brian Downing at the plate? Gary Carter applied the tag. Oh,
that's a joke. Good. It's a joke that Dave Parker's. Go look at his numbers.
The Cobra.
Now, there's always that off the field stuff, but come on, man, really?
With you.
The Cobra should be in the Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
Friend of the program, World Series champion with your 1989 Oakland Athletics.
That's right.
All right. Hey, Johnny, are you solo today?
I'm solo today, brother.
I wish I could be there with you.
I know.
We could continue this conversation. I could go Dave Parker all day long.
We would just talk some ball. That's what we do.
Johnny, great work all spring, but we'll see you on Monday at the Coliseum.
Oh, that's right, Johnny. You know what? If we had a trophy, if I could give you, we used to call him the Gambler, Kenny Rogers. It's now going to be the Gambler, Shohei Ohtani. I'd give you the Shohei Ohtani award. You are the MVP of the Cactus League, my friend.
Thanks, buddy.
There is not one broadcaster in the Cactus League who logged more innings and time than you on the air.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. I enjoyed every moment. Thank you. I've loved it.
If I could give you the Shohei Ohtani award, I would give it to you.
Thank you.
Aztecs up 3 with 40 seconds left.
Okay. I got to go. We got the anthem. Love you
All
guys.
right, buddy. See ya.
All right.
He is. You think about no one has done as much time on the air in spring training as Johnny.
No. Speaking of
solo spring training games?
Yes, but we got to go too.
That's it. A's Cast Live, Cactus League edition is over.
Yeah.
When we back?
Monday at the Coliseum.
Oh, at the Collie? We're back on the field?
Yeah, 4 o'clock.
We're back in business, baby. We're back in business. What time?
4.
4 o'clock. God, we can sleep in again. God, the baseball schedule's back. Cannot wait. Thank you, everybody, from the bottom of our hearts. You mean a lot to us. Everybody that supports us, that's hanging with us. We're going to give you the best comprehensive A's thoughts, opinions, news. This is where you come for A's baseball. Thank you, truly, from the bottom of our hearts, everything, how you support us. And we'll be back on Monday. Cactus League edition is over. It's now Bay Bridge A's Cast Live. Cannot wait. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you Monday at 3 o'clock.
This is Chris Townsend. There are 2 things that are a must for me: comfort and style. Whether I'm playing golf, going to dinner, I've got to have the right feel. That's why I've partnered with Linksole, and you're going to love Linksole. They have just released their new spring line, new fabrics for their polos, lightweight and perfect for technical performance. Linksole also has new styles for their layers and hoodies with cool prints and seasonal colors. You know what they say in the big leagues: look good, play good. Go to linksole.com. That's linksole.com.
This has been a presentation of the Oakland Athletics.